Hey Aquarius, here are your 2025 predictions. Let's get started. Okay, there is you, Aquarius. I'm going to choose 12 different cards, and I'm going to choose the first card and put it on Aquarius, and that's going to be you, and it's going to be your first house of self. Okay, and then we're going to go and choose 12, which is going to be go along the next lines. Okay, second one, Pisces. Okay, so Pluto is in your sign, Aquarius. So Pluto is in your first house, and it's going to be in your first house into 2024, which is beautiful because it's rearranging your whole character, your structure, who you are as an individual, who you are as a person, which in my opinion is always the best thing. It is teaching Aquarius no fear. They are really rising up from... They are really going to rise from this transit, Pluto. They're going to be completely different people and be on a completely different path in the year of 2043. But that's so long from now, okay? And we have so many other things happening. We have... Here we go. Okay, so for the year of 2025, Aquarius, for your first house, we got the Four of Swords, but this was actually in reverse, okay? So starting off this year, in the year 2025, for you, Aquarius, we need to focus on rest. You could have been feeling like, you know, you're losing faith in the things that matter to you. You know, you're exhausted. You're tired of, whatever it is that you're doing. You know, you feel as though you're laying in bed at night, like, You're laying in bed at night feeling tired because of all of the efforts and things that you have put in, and you're just losing faith in what matters to you, right? And the way that you're approaching the world. It's losing faith within yourself, right, Aquarius? And in the year 2025, I really want you to come back to self starting off this year, because when Pluto going into your first house, there is this shift, you know, that you feel, this heaviness that you feel. Not so much because this is the house of the self, you know, this is the heaviness within the body. It doesn't happen as soon as it transits, but there is a window of you've noticed that this planet has moved, you know, and there can be a shift where you know that something is expected of you, you know, and it's almost like, can I deliver it? You know, can I really make these things happen? Like, am I good enough? Like, it's just losing faith laying in bed. And I will say that as you're laying in bed, you know, in the year 2025, whether it's the beginning, you know, or the middle, you know, or the end, I really want you to remind yourself that everything is temporary, right, Aquarius? Things don't just keep happening. Things happen in cycles. And the more that you feel proud of what you have accomplished, the more that you allow other things to happen for you. But in the year of 2025 coming in, there is this sense of, I won't say depression, and I won't say sorrow, but there's just like a, you know, like feeling, what, you know, like a disappointing feeling, but mostly within the self, you know. So moving into the second house, and Saturn is in your second house right now. So Saturn has been trying to teach you about your finances, you know, teaching you about how, if you stay consistent, you can make a lot of things happen in your life, Aquarius. In the year 2025, this is still asked of you. It's asked of you to stay consistent in whatever you are creating, you know, be patient. In the year 2025, patience is key for you, Aquarius. Not because things are always going to be delayed, but because as a person, it takes time to grow and learn, you know, relearn things about ourselves. It takes time to remember the things that we have blocked off in our life, especially when it comes to like our the way we feel about ourselves and our self-worth and like self-love. It takes time to learn what you love about yourself. Like, what are you even like worthy for? You know, it takes time to really grab those things. And I do think that, you know, because this is a house of like the resources and things of that nature. I do think that, you know, practically, yes, you know that you have to continuously take care of what you need to take care of, whatever is it that you want. You know, like if I want a nice home, I have to take care of my nice home. And, you know, if I have a nice car, I have to take care of it. And like the more consistent that you are with those things, the more other like things come to you. And not so much even about buying things. This is really giving and receiving from the universe, because we're talking about Pisces and Saturn. This is something spiritually coming from you. Saturn is very, you know, physical, like material based, because it is, you know, earthly based. But in my opinion, this is setting you up to make those spiritual acts tangible when it comes to feeling good about yourself. The practices in the year of 2025 make you feel more, you know, more grounded in the worthiness of you having, you know, money and things of that nature, and paying for things that we normally pay for every single day. Like it's having a strong will to not feel that you are worthy, or not feel that you are feeling, you know, the best, but to leave room, you know, for these things is the key here. It's like leaving room to feel good about yourself, leaving room for these things, right? Okay, and so Aries. Okay, so this is your third house. I'm gonna have to leave this like this. And so this is gonna be your third house, and this is the Seven of Pentacles. And this really shows me like when you harness on your skills, Aquarius, in the year of 2025, when you're focusing on what matters to you and what you want to master, and you're thinking about your planning, you know, and you're thinking mostly about yourself and what your mind is wanting to bring into life, or bring into your reality. What is your mind saying to you? Like, what are you communicating with? Understanding that awards will come in the year 2025 when you're consistent and persistent. In the year of 2025, I do feel like Aquarius, things do feel as though they're slowing down physically in the physical reality, but in the spiritual realm, you are gaining so much more through the mind. And this is where you really find success. This is really where you're finding abundance in the year 2025. And it's able to leak over to your finances in a way, because it's leaking over to your brain, you know? It's not so much about, oh my God, I'm worried that I have to pay the same bill I've been paying, you know, every single month. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that worry that comes up every month for everyone. You're like, it's no more of that, you know. For you Aquarius, it's like, I'm not really worried about that. I have this ease where I'm like, you know, the universe always provides for me. The universe takes care of me, and these things happen because I am able to provide for myself, right? You start to see things in a different way, and it settles your mind. And the long-term success that you bear and that you see fruit come from, even if it's just a little bit, even if it's, you know, little, but it's still something. It eases your mind. It eases your mind in a way that's beautiful, because you know that you can make this happen for yourself long term, Aquarius. You know that when you use your physical force to enhance your skills, to enhance your voice, to enhance your voices and speech, communication to yourself, you can achieve anything. And that's hell yeah, Aquarius. And I love that. Okay, and then for the fourth house, your fourth house is in Taurus, okay? And for the year 2025, this is actually in reverse, okay? And this is the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords in the fourth house, you know, this really shows me like you're releasing something that doesn't serve you. It is definitely a limiting belief that has been developed within childhood, and this can be from the mother, but this can also be from the resources, like that has to do with the home, you know, because as I said, it's more like, you know, in the year 2025, you're like, yeah, this is a nice couch, I love it, I pay for it all the time, but it doesn't make me happy. It makes me happy to look at it, yes, you know, if it's clean and all that stuff, but it kind of brings me the same, like, you know, spiritually growing will bring you more happiness than the couch ever did. And in the year 2025, you start seeing that as you're letting these limiting wow, beliefs go, things that have been taught to you, you know, passed down to you through your mother, you know, through childhood and things of that nature, things you've learned, you're releasing them, you're relearning them. You're like, I'm not going to, you know, believe in these things anymore. Like, these are actually self-limiting. You know what I'm saying? These are actually limiting me. And you're becoming more hopeful about the things that you can accomplish and the things that you can achieve, Aquarius. Because as you change, everything around you change, right? Your emotions change, you know, but deeply internally, if you are not willing to go deeply internally, nothing actually changes. You just put on a different form, a different character, and you know, but this is a fourth house of going deeply inside. So as you go deeply inside and you go deeply inside of your emotional walls and barriers, and you break them down to get a clearer sign of what needs to be let go of, you find a lot of peace. You find a lot of peace. You find like this awareness of self, this awareness of those emotional tides, and how it emotions move us way more than it should sometimes. Okay. And then for the fifth house, this is fantastic actually, but you have the sun in reverse in the fifth house. And so in my opinion, I do feel as though there's some sadness that comes from the children, you know, almost feeling like, you know, maybe wounded by communication, you know, feeling as though maybe the conversation is always so gloomy, you know, it's never as happy as I want it to be. It's never as nostalgic as I want it to be, you know, it's not as intellectual as it needs to be. You know, I'm talking to, you know, a child or your inner child, you know, your inner child is feeling sad too, you know, it's not able to express itself. It's feeling stifled in some way. And these are the limiting beliefs that you are letting go of in the year of 2025 that would no longer keep you in this wave of sadness of absolutely nothing. Because, you know, as you go in deeper, Aquarius, you'll start to see that the things that we have taught and held on to really is not the fault of anyone. And it's really like, it's not like the blame of anyone. This is just coming to awareness where it's like, now I can evolve, you know? And it's just about taking the step to evolve that alleviates that gloom and that sadness, because it is not sad to know more, to want to be more after you've been feeling like you've been nothing, you know? That's not really a sad thing, even though it feels sad, because, you know, that's the mind playing with you and all the programming and stuff. Even though it does feel sad, it's really a happy thing actually, you know, because Gemini is a sign that has two sides to it already. So Aquarius, you normally have two sides to you when it comes to your inner child being expressed and your, you know, who you are as a person. And this is also the house of dating as well, like you finding some type of sadness when it comes to like these disappointing partners now, you know, Aquarius. And there is not, this is, like I said, it's not the fault. It's just like, if I want better, you know, I want better. If I want better, I want better. And I want something that makes me happy and something that makes me feel intellectually stimulated. Okay. Moving on to the sixth house of health. And your sixth house is a Knight of Cups, and it's in Cancer. And so this just tells me that you need to drink a lot of water, and you need to focus on a lot of water intake in the year 2025. Health is wealth, and water is your friend. And Aquarius, in the year 2025, you know, anything that the sixth house is a house of like work, it is a house of service, you know, it is the house of us doing our duties, you know, it's a house of the pets in a way. And anything that you do in life, that you do in life, you must do with a sense of, you know, gratitude. You must do with a sense of, you gotta want to do it, right? And the sixth house is about, you know, servicing the world in some way. And what we do on a day-to-day basis really makes up our life. And Knight of Cups showing up in this house really shows that whatever that you do in life on your day-to-day basis, or whatever that you do in the year of 2025 will make up your life. If you are romanticizing your life, which meaning like your self-care routine, because sixth house is a house of day-to-day self-care, so your self-care routine should be like, I love you self, you look beautiful, to like, wow, that's you, I didn't even know like I look so beautiful. Like, if you're not speaking to yourself as though you are the mother of yourself, and how would you speak to yourself? How would you have want your mother to speak to you? Wouldn't you have want your mother to literally speak to you from her heart and tell you you were the best person in the world? Go about your day. That would make your day like so much better, and that's what it is expected for you in the year of 2025, to speak to yourself as someone that you love, as someone that you love yourself, to pour into your own cup, to mother yourself back to health, because these things make us feel good. And even affirmations daily, when you have to tell yourself, I love you self, it does sound ridiculous sometimes. Even when like you start out, it's almost like, okay, now, of course I love myself, but you really don't understand that loving yourself requires work. Like, and it doesn't just require sounds and noises of saying I love myself. Like, a lot of people can say that, but truly, if you love yourself, you will look like you love yourself, because you will take time to see and check in with yourself. You will sit down, 5 minutes in the day, 20 minutes. You will try to collect your thoughts, try to examine your thoughts, think about, reflect upon the day, using time outside. There's many things to get involved in, when it comes to taking care of our physical vessel. But for the year 2025, for you, Aquarius, water is your friend, fruit is your lover. Okay? And you have the Two of Cups, and this is your house, this is your seventh house. Okay? And the Two of Cups really shows us, well, this actually was in reverse, so it shows us some disarray within the unionship. In the year 2025, I do feel as though the focus is on the self, because the focus is so internal, Aquarius. The external world, it's no longer as important, and you kind of like take a step back from it, taking a step back from your normal duties. This is probably, cooking every day, cleaning every day, and now it just becomes like a very spiritual, internal type of year. It's a more it's a internal conversation. It's like a conversation with the Most High. I'm discovering this relationship, not just you haven't had it before, but now it just seems like I need this. It's almost like you need this. And you just start to observe a lot of things about your partner, and it just has you in this distrust. This distrust, not that you don't trust them, but that whatever is guiding you, whatever's leading and guiding you, it's so self-based. It's like focus on yourself. It's almost like, how can the other person matter right now? Almost like, is life clearing this person out to make another one for me? We have to be mindful that when we're changing in the inside, because we are all, if you are in a unionship, when you change, you have to expect the other person to evolve as well. Not forcing it, but helping them understand what you're going through as a person. This involves communication. And so there can be a lot of arguments because, the other person can't understand you internally because they aren't supposed to. In the year 2025, your relationship may require a lot of work, but it's almost like you can't really give it to them because you need it, And in Vedic astrology, the nodes are going into Aquarius and Leo, and K2 will cause a lot of arguments within the relationship because trying to make it stronger, deeper, something deeper beyond the surface that cannot just be broken up by words or other people. That truly has to be broken up by the Most High, by higher forces than that. And so for the year 2025, you do kind of feel a little bit bad that you can't focus on the partner. And if you do not have a partner, it's almost like you don't really focus on what's going on in the outside world. You don't really want to have a partner. You don't trust them anyway. So why would you want to have them? it's just a very internal, dissection that you're going through, which is beautiful. I think that it's very beautiful, in my opinion, Aquarius, and sometimes we have to observe our relationships because they make us who we are. Okay. And then going into the 8th house of our shared resources and shared finances, I do feel as though, Aquarius, if you're going through some type of relationship like a divorce or something like that, there will be justice that you will get. There can be some type of in the year 2025, there can be some type of justice that needs to take place, but through you having integrity behind this. The 8th house is the house of loans and money, and the money that people owe you or you owe them, right? And it's also the house of our deep psychological makeup, literally dying and being reborn in character, and in my opinion, in the year 2025, there are decisions to be made behind finances. There are decisions to be made behind intimacy, and behind your own mind, what is truly right for me, right? And there is a harmony that you must feel. There's a harmony that you have to get to in, when it comes to sharing finances. There's a harmony that you must get to, even if you don't feel right, even if you don't feel good, even if you feel like things are not going to go in your way, there is some type of way that you have to settle your mind. And I feel as though putting your mind at ease, but knowing that everything is going to go right for you, Aquarius. There's no need to worry and no need to stress out the mind. Only to understand that justice will always prevail, because justice is internal and there's universal law, and there is no way in this life that anything that happens will not be in the alignment of the God's plan, of the Most High's plan. That is your alignment, and trusting in that biggest plan is truly what you have to do in the year of 2025. The more that you lean in and trust this, Aquarius, the more easy that it feels, and the more embraced that you feel. You feel embraced by the Most High, because you feel as though like, wow, they're really, I'm really being talked to, like I'm really the favorite this year, because the spiritual journey must go on. It must be enhanced, Okay, and then moving into the 9th house. The 9th house, yes, moving into the 9th house. Yes, am I right? 7, 8, 9. Yes, the 9th house, which is funny actually, because that's in Libra. That's so funny, and that's about making decisions. And so you have the Ace of Cups, and the 9th house is our belief system. It's about the things that we believe. It is it's about culture. It's about traveling. It's about different languages. It's truly about our higher self, what we can ascend to and we can evolve into and be the best versions of ourselves. And I feel as though you're finding the best version of yourself in the year 2025, and it brings you a sense of joy and happiness, because the systems that you're building are working for you. They're working for you because you're not building them with people. You're building them with your spirit guides, your higher self, your ancestors, things who actually wish for you to evolve, things that actually understand the mission. The mission is so much higher. And, the Ace of Cups is really like surrendering. It's like surrendering, surrendering to the highest cause, surrendering to your growth, because the 9th house is the house of growth. And your growth will lead you to growing places, right? It will lead you to places that you didn't see yourself going ever, Aquarius, in the year of 2025. I really feel like the spiritual awakening in the year 2025 is so needed and so beautiful. Okay, and then for the 10th house, okay, your 10th house is in Scorpio, and we have the 2 of Swords. There is a difficulty when it comes to making decisions about your career and life path. You want so desperately, I wouldn't say desperately, because in the year 2025, this is really about that spiritual awakening. But you desperately, everyone wants to find a purpose, right? Everyone wants to be one made for something. It has to be a reason for something. It has to be a reason that you're made, right, Aquarius? And I feel as though there is this split in decisions, like, should I go this way? Should I go that way? And whatever choice that you make, it is the right choice. But there are opposing forces in the universe. There is a such thing as giving and receiving, there is a such thing as things not always being what they seem. Not everything is what it seems, right? Even the life that we thought we want, we might not want it anymore. So in the year of 2025, maybe that's the case. You don't want what you thought that you wanted. And now you have this decision to make a different one, you know? But it takes time. This takes time, you know, it takes you thinking clearly about this, right? Okay, and then moving on to the 11th house. And the 11th house, you have the 6 of Wands. And the 6 of Wands, well, the 11th house is about your friendships. It's about your goals. It's about your long-term success. It's about community groups and human consciousness, you know? And the 6 of Wands showing up in this house is in Sagittarius as well. It's just beautiful. I feel like there's a lot of networking that goes on with people that are overseas. There's networking that goes on when it comes to your success, when it comes to you finding victory in some way in life in the year of 2025. And you can find a soul friend, a soul family that awakens your mind in ways that is grand for you. You know, it takes you places, because they're talking about Sagittarius. It takes you to another place. You know, it's almost like connection is what brings you to the next place. You know, connection is what brings you praises. It brings you recognition. You know, you connecting to other people, and these can be connections from the past as well that come back. And in the year 2024, the year 2025, it's presenting itself to you in a way where you feel as though, I'm proud of this, you know? You feel a sense of pride, and other people feel this as well for you, and that is always great. And like I said, like, you don't know who you're connecting to with in the year of 2025. Aquarius, will always be nice to everyone and try to be kind to everyone, even though you're not really worried about what's going on in the physical world. This is definitely a deep dive into, you know, the spiritual nature. And so the 12th house is in Capricorn, and we have the Page of Swords. In the Page of Swords, in the 12th house is what's hidden. You know, it's about endings. It's about healing. And it's truly a house of going in deep to try to change the way you behave, you know, internally, like observing your own behaviors, your own responses. You know, it's really about, it's really a deep house. You know, this is about the death of characters and of people and things of that nature, being mediumship. And I just feel like in the year of 2025, there's this deep dive into the spiritual realm, you know, into the unknown and into the unseen. And, you know, there is new ideas that come to you. You want to talk about this. But the 12th house is the house of solitude and the house of wanting to be alone. You know what I'm saying? So you can have an inspiration to talk to people about this, but only selected people. People that want to hear these types of things, right? And there could be people coming from different avenues, or elderly people, honestly, coming to you in dreams, telling you about some type of wisdom, you know, lending your helping hand. And your dreams become so important, and interactions with elderly become important, because they're now like circled around these new ideas, this new approach to your life. But this wisdom can help your life advance, even though it comes from the elderly person, even though it comes from, you know, the unknown, or you don't even know where this information is coming from. This is definitely communication. It definitely brings you a sense of mental clarity, because I won't say mental clarity. I will say that it brings you a sense of feeling like this is okay, you know, like you feel a sense of protection, almost like you know who you're talking to in the spiritual realm. They feel familiar to you, you know, but they shift your perspective, help you see something in life in a different way, but it's definitely familiar. And in the year of 2025, because everything is spiritually driven for you, Aquarius, always ask the question to yourself internally, knowing that others outside of you probably do not have the answers. Everything is inward. Everything that you seek is inside. The only way out is in. Is truly a quote for you this year for Aquarius risings. So that's all I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And if you can like and share my video, that would be amazing. I would love you forever. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel in the year of 2025, so that will be amazing if you can help me, Aquarius. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Aquarius.